Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you? I was just tuning up for this, All right, stuff going on, but first let me get this out of the way. I should be here tomorrow. This is for the holiday week. I won't be here Friday, and I won't be here Sunday, but I should be here Saturday. Okay, this is deals with my family as well as everything else. Tomorrow, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe so. Okay, you just check and see, and that goes for the live videos too. All right. So that's it, and I'm now about to start talking bullshit. Trump, there's a big thing about Trump canceling all the wind power leases in the ocean and everything like that. Well, I didn't know he could cancel ocean leases, but I guess he can. I didn't know you could lease the ocean. I thought it was free to everybody, but I guess I guess you have private beaches, so I guess it's really not. I don't know. But I said, you can swim through a private beach. You just can't get out of the water on a private beach. So I don't understand all this. But anyhow, he's going around canceling all the leases, and he's saying wind power is a waste of time and everything. It doesn't work. Well, China thinks it works, and it does work in China. Several other countries think it works. One of them is Scotland, and one of them has a wind turbine farm that Trump is all pissed off about because it blocks the view of his golf course out there. It blocks the view from his golf course, I should say. Or if you're out in the ocean, it blocks the view of the golf course. And he's been all bent out of shape of that for years. And so he just sits there and he says, so I'll get you in the United States. Trump is destroying the climate and destroying America based upon a whim, or based upon something he doesn't particularly like, that has absolutely no factual reasoning involved. Just he doesn't think it's not aesthetic or something like that. He said we needed a new ballroom. No, we didn't. You want to renovate it a little bit? Okay, but we didn't need a brand new one. You didn't need to tear down Jackie O's rose garden and put up a golden monstrosity. Okay? He likes gold. I hope gold tanks, and I hope he loses every penny of his money. Because, or he goes out in a boat with his gold and the gold sinks the boat. Something, That's just, the way things are done. I just don't understand him. But because of the fact that they disliked that it interfered with his view of the ocean or something, somebody told him it's blocking the view, because he isn't smart enough to figure that out for himself. Okay, seriously, and I mean that he doesn't care enough to figure that out for himself. So, and he wanted them to destroy it, take it down. They wouldn't do it, and nobody's really complained about it. But, they kill birds. Well, birds are dumb enough to fly into them. They're going to get hurt. But birds fly into a lot of things. They fly into the Empire State Building. I didn't think, thousands of birds are killed a year flying into the Empire State Building and other tall buildings. I don't see them going around saying, well, we ought to get rid of the birds. Do you? I know what we should get rid of, but I don't think it's going to. It may or may not happen soon enough for the rest of the world, and that's Donald Trump. But just remember this, folks. He's not thinking straight. He makes these decisions. Sorry about that. He makes those decisions based upon a whim, or a casual thought, or a remark by somebody in his inner circle. There's no factual basis for half the stuff he does. It's not true. He's just an idiot. He's driven by spare of the moment ideas. that he thinks are grandiose. Americans die because of that. There's going to be electricity is going to cost a small fortune soon, because all the power is being sucked up by these data farms that they're building for AI, and they're horrible for the environment in the surrounding area. These data farms, and it's like data farms. You put all your eggs in one basket. Not smart. But the people doing this are smart in some ways, and it's not smart in others. What the hell was the saying? I don't remember. There's a saying that says that. I can't remember it offhand, but it's just, you've got to pay attention to what's happening in the world, and if you don't, you make stupid mistakes. And he does that on a regular basis, folks, because he's just thinking about what somebody told him or whispered in his ear. Now you got the 14th Amendment, which is basically dealing with birthright citizenship, which we haven't had a problem with up until now. I don't think. I'm not sure. I disagreed with one instance that I know about, where a friend of mine's daughter was born in the United States. They came to the United States specifically to have the baby born. This was before I moved down here. And as far as I know, I went back once, and she's never been back since the day she was born. But yet she retains American citizenship. Which, if she contributes to Social Security, she's entitled to. But that's, the same thing. If you're not a citizen, you're still entitled to the Social Security. You can get it as you leave the country, or you can donate it to somebody else. I think something along those lines. But you don't get. She can vote. She's never been in the United States, so I don't know where she votes. She can go register some town or something, but that's all what they're... This is what the big thing about it is, it's the voters. Trump wants to know where every human being that claims they're American is. He knows where I am. He's got my address. And if he's dumb enough to show up here, I'll kick his teeth down his throat. But, if he showed up, he'd probably show up with half the United States Army and Navy. And I'm older than he is, so... disgusting as that is, I'm smarter than he is, too, in a lot of things. I think one of the expressions I was thinking about in the first comment was penny wise, pound foolish. I think that's something along those lines, where you make decisions that are just stupid, and you cost the country billions of dollars, and you cost lives and everything else, and that's just, but that's okay, because it's Donald Trump, and he's president of the United States, and he's so smart. He's a certified genius. Certified by who? Snoopy? Come on, folks. It's getting a little bit bullshit, but I don't necessarily disagree with getting rid of birthright citizenship, but there has to be some sort of modification. Let's say that with the incidents I'm talking about, the mother has to be present in the United States from before conception. A steady, she can't just come and go, flirt back and forth. She has to stay here until the baby is born, or the baby is baptized or 1 year old, whatever you want to do. You want to put a limit on that? Yeah. And then the baby can become a citizen. Not come in for 2 or 3 weeks and leave, and the kid's a citizen. That I don't believe is right. And I'm sorry if it offends people that I know, but that part of it I don't agree with. All right? And it must be the time of the year because or something, whatever. Just Trump wants to quit NATO again. He wants to quit NATO every time he opens his mouth because he believes it's unfair. Now, you have to understand that in a conventional war, the first attacks being made, I mean, look at what Ukraine's doing with very little help from us and other people, and they're holding off Russia, and they're killing thousands of Russian soldiers. That's a very violent war. Everybody's talking about that, but everybody's more concerned with what's going on in the Middle East. Well, because Ukraine doesn't really have anything. Only Russia wants certain sections of it, the mining district and whatnot. In which case that would pretty much bankrupt the country. So but he didn't try to negotiate. Putin never tried to negotiate anything. Putin just invaded, and NATO really isn't there 100%. Which is surprising. But Ukraine isn't a NATO country, so they're not obligated to respond. Those countries that respond and help and aid are doing so voluntarily. All right. If the U.S. gets attacked, NATO is forced to defend. And they're obligated to it. It's if we say please come, they come. But Trump gets pissed off because he asked them to come into the Mideast thing with Iran, and the NATO countries refused. It's not because we're the aggressors. And the NATO pact does not say that they're obligated to support aggressors. This is an instance where if Iran was a member of NATO, NATO would be forced to defend themselves against the United States. That's the way it's written, and he doesn't like that. He thinks everybody should do exactly what he tells them to do, when he tells them to do it. And if they don't do it, then they're an enemy of the state, they're traitors, they're communists, they're Taliban, whatever. That's the way he works, And Israel's pretty much getting the same way, too. And America's afraid of Israel. Why? Because Israel's got rockets, ballistic missiles that can reach the U.S. And don't let anybody tell you anything different. They have an excellent Air Force, trained by guess who? The United States Air Force Academy and Top Gun schools. Yeah, they know what they're doing. So, quitting NATO is just something he does periodically. And if he does, fine. Let him. But then when trouble hits, he's going to be screwed. All right? Here's a story that I made. It was up here yesterday. I found out this journalist, she's from, she writes for dozens of, she's like a freelancer, but she works for one outfit, and then she sends her stuff everywhere. People, because she's got all these connections in the Mideast and everything like that. And this happened in Baghdad. She was kidnapped, and as of this morning, nobody knows who did it. Nobody's claiming or asking for ransom yet. So we'll have to wait and see what's going on there. But I think that's I think that was kind of a shame. I mean, she doesn't look like she's an older woman. She looks like she's I guess her 30s or 40, maybe. She's attractive. She's white. But I guess that part of the world is just not someplace you want to visit, and that's exactly what everybody's telling everybody now. And Americans shouldn't visit the Mideast at all. They shouldn't even be over there conducting business right now. That's what terror does, folks. It's not what terror is not the actual act. Terror is the thought that there could be an act. It's the threat of an act. It disrupts your way of life. That's terror. If you're in a gunfight and you're still eating spaghetti, that's not terror. That's war. There's a difference. Terror is when there's no gunshots being fired, you're afraid to walk out the door. That's terror. My definition of it, anyhow. Okay, moving along slowly. A top, where was he from? A top FEMA official is walking around claiming he was teleported. Now, I'm assuming he's going to say he was teleported by aliens, because this just doesn't, teleportation isn't something that I believe has been seriously investigated by anybody other than the military. But he's another one of these people that, it's a good story, and what happens with some of these people, what happens to them is they get involved with liquor or something, or they think something happened that didn't happen. They dream it and it becomes so real to them, because there's deja vu involved and everything, so I don't want to say he's crazy, because he doesn't fit the description of crazy, but I think he's misunderstanding some things. Okay, so you know my schedule now, right? I will probably be here tomorrow. I hope so. I have some family issues, but I think I can get them done before my video is due. And also I have, Friday I just need to, hang out. There's stuff the family's going to be doing stuff. I don't know whether I'm going to have to go to church with my wife or not, but I don't think so. But, I don't want to say, I just want to take the day off. Saturday I'll be back, because it's sort of like a do-nothing day. I don't know unless the family's coming over or something. I don't know. And Sunday's Easter Sunday, so, it's really not, nobody's going to pay attention to me Easter Sunday anyhow, so it ain't good. That's the other reason, Good Friday. Nobody's going to be on the internet looking for stuff unless Trump does the, sets off a nuclear bomb in Iran or something like that. All right, so that's it. Hit the subscribe button, and you'll know all this crap without me telling you, because you could, you can access any video you want. So if you want to go look at other videos, that you think you missed or something, you can do that. But in the meantime, folks, subscribe. Hit the like button too, please. I really appreciate that. I like likes and stuff like that. I just get off on it. I get all tingly and it's like, oh, a like. Okay? I don't like this stuff. This is making me look really fat now. I guess I am. I don't know. Anyhow, so take care, and I will see you tomorrow.